Shalom, everybody. BigDaddyBigz, thank you for being here. Happy January 22nd. Today's reading is Exodus 35 through 38. I'm so glad you're here. I want to ask you real quick to like and share our videos. Comment if you have any comments. If you want to say anything. If you just want to say hey, say hey. But anyway, Exodus 35, let's get started, okay? I lost my place. I'm sorry. Offerings for the tabernacle. Then Moses assembled all the congregation of Bnei Israel and said to them, These are the words which Adonai has commanded you to do. Work is to be done for 6 days, but on the seventh day is a holy day for you, a Shabbat of complete rest to Adonai. Whoever does any work then will die. Do not kindle a fire in any of your dwellings on Yom Shabbat. Moses also said to all the congregation of Bnei Israel, This is the word which Adonai commanded, saying, Take from among you an offering for Adonai. Whoever has a willing heart, let him bring Adonai's offering, gold, silver, and bronze, blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, fine linen, and goat hair, ram skins dyed red, seal skins, and acacia wood, oil for the light, spices for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, onyx stones and setting stones for the ephod and for the breastplate. Let every wise-hearted man among you come and make everything that Adonai has commanded, including the tabernacle, its tent, and its covering, its clasps, and its boards, its crossboards, its pillars, and its bases, the ark and the poles, the atonement cover and the curtain screen, the table and its poles with all of its utensils, along with the bread of the presence. Also the menorah for light with its utensils, its lamps and the oil for the light, the altar of incense and its poles, the anointing oil, the sweet incense, and the screen for the entrance of the tabernacle. The altar of burnt offering with its grating of bronze, its poles and all its utensils, the basin and its stand, the hangings of the courtyard, the pillars and their bases, and the curtain for the gate of the courtyard, the pegs of the tabernacle and of the courtyard, along with their cords, the woven garments for ministering in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the Cohen, and for his sons to minister as Kohanim. Then all the congregation of Bnei Israel departed from before Moses, everyone whose heart stirred him, and everyone whose spirit was willing, came and brought Adonai's offering for the work of the tent of meeting, and for all its service, as well as for the holy garments. So they came, both men and women, everyone whose heart compelled him, and brought nose rings, earrings, signet rings, bracelets, and all kinds of golden jewels. Everyone who brought a wave offering of gold to Adonai. Everyone who had blue, purple, scarlet, fine linen, goat hair, ram skins dyed red, and seal skins brought them. Everyone who could make a contribution of silver or bronze brought Adonai's offering, and every man who had acacia wood of any use for service brought it. Also the women who were wise-hearted spun with their hands and brought what they had woven, the blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. All the women whose hearts stirred them up with wisdom spun the goat hair. Also the leaders brought onyx stones and setting stones for the ephod and for the breastplate, along with the spice, the oil for the light, and for anointing, and for the sweet incense. Every man and woman whose heart made them willing gave toward all the work that Adonai had commanded to be done by Moses' hand. So Bnei Israel brought it as a freewill offering to Adonai. Then Moses said to Bnei Israel, See, Adonai has called by name Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah. He has filled him with the Ruach of God, with wisdom, understanding, and knowledge in all manner of craftsmanship, to make ingenious designs, to work in gold, silver, bronze, as well as cutting gemstones for setting, wood carving, to make all kinds of skillful craftsmanship. He has placed in his heart the ability to teach both he and Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan. He has filled them with the wisdom of heart to forge all the works of an engraver, an artisan, and an embroiderer in blue, purple, scarlet, and in fine linen, as well as weaving. They can perform every craft and ingenious designs. Exodus chapter 36. More than enough. So Bezalel and Aholiab are to work along with every wise-hearted man in whom Adonai has placed insight and understanding to know how to perform all the labor for the service of the sanctuary according to everything Adonai has commanded. Then Moses called Bezalel, Aholiab, and all the wise-hearted men in whose minds Adonai had set wisdom, along with everyone whose heart stirred him up to come and do the work. They received from Moses the entire offering that Bnei Yisrael had brought for the work of the service of the sanctuary to build it. They brought freewill offerings to him morning after morning. Then all the skilled men who were doing all the work of the sanctuary came, one by one, from the work he was doing, and said to Moses, "The people are bringing much more than enough for the work of this construction that Adonai has commanded to be done." So Moses gave an order, and they proclaimed it throughout the camp, saying, "Let neither man nor woman make anything else as an offering for the sanctuary." So the people were restrained from bringing more. For the work material they had was sufficient for all the work, with much left over. So all the wise-hearted men among them did the work. They made the tabernacle with 10 curtains of finely twisted linen, along with blue, purple, and scarlet, with cherubim, the work of a skillful craftsman. The length of each curtain was 28 cubits, and the width of each curtain was 4 cubits. All the curtains had one measure. Then he coupled 5 curtains to one another, and the other 5 curtains he also coupled together. He made blue loops on the edge of the curtain that was outermost within the first set. He did the same along the edge of the curtain that was outermost in the second set. He made 50 loops in one curtain and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was in the second set, so that the loops were opposite to one another. Also he made 50 clasps of gold and coupled the curtains one to another with the clasps, so the tabernacle was one. Then he made curtains from the goat hair for a tent over the tabernacle. He made 11 curtains. The length of each curtain was 30 cubits, and the width was about 4 cubits. The 11 curtains, had one measure. He coupled 5 curtains by themselves and 6 other curtains by themselves. He made 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was outermost in the first set, and 50 loops on the edge of the curtain that was outermost in the second set. He also made 50 bronze clasps to couple the tent together so that it would be one. Then he made a covering for the tent of ram skins, dyed red, along with a covering of seal skins above. He also made the framework of boards for the tabernacle from acacia wood, standing upright. The length of a board was 10 cubits, the width was 1.5 cubits. Each board had 2 supports, joined one to another. He did this for all the boards of the tabernacle. So he built the boards of the tabernacle, 20 boards from the south side, southward. And he made 40 silver bases under the 20 boards, 2 bases under one board for its 2 supports, and 2 bases under another board for its 2 supports. Also, for the second side of the tabernacle on the north side, he made 20 boards, along with their 40 silver bases, 2 under one board and 2 under the next. For the back part of the tabernacle westward he made 6 boards. He also made 2 boards for the corners of the tabernacle in the back. so that they could be doubled underneath, and in the same way to be fixed to the top at the first ring. He did this for both of them at the two corners. So there were 8 boards along with their silver bases, 16 in all, 2 under each board. Then he made crossbars from acacia wood, 5 for the boards on one side of the tabernacle, 5 for the boards on the other side of the tabernacle, and 5 crossbars for the boards of the tabernacle for the back part westward. He built the middle crossbar to pass through in the center of the boards from one end to the other. He overlaid the boards with gold and made golden earrings for them as holders for the crossbars, and overlaid the crossbars with gold. Then he made a curtain of blue, purple, scarlet, and finely twisted linen, along with the cherubim, the work of a skillful craftsman. He made 4 pillars of acacia and overlaid them with gold, having golden hooks, and he cast 4 silver bases for them. Then he made a paroquet for the entrance of the tent of blue, purple, scarlet, and finely twisted linen, the work of a color weaver. Also he made the 5 pillars with their hooks and overlaid their capitals and bands with gold, along with their 5 bronze bases. Excuse me. Exodus 37. Ark, table, menorah, incense, altar. Bezalel also made the ark from acacia wood, 2.5 cubits long, and 1.5 cubits wide, and 1.5 cubits high. He overlaid it with pure gold inside and out, and made a crown of gold for it all around. He cast 4 golden rings for it, in the 4 feet, 2 rings on one side, and 2 on the other. He also made poles of acacia wood, and overlaid them with gold. Then he put the poles into the rings on the sides of the ark to carry the ark. He made an atonement cover of pure gold, 2.5 cubits long, 1.5 cubits wide. Then he forged the 2 cherubim of gold from hammered work at the 2 ends of the atonement cover, 1 cherub at one end and 1 cherub at the other. And he made the atonement cover from a single piece with the cherubim on the 2 ends. So the cherubim spread out their wings on high, overshadowing the atonement cover with their wings, with their faces to one another, and the faces of the cherubim toward the atonement cover. Then he made the table of acacia wood, 2 cubits long, 1 cubit wide, and 1.5 cubits high. He overlaid it with pure gold and made a golden crown all around. Also he made a border for it, a hand width around, and made a golden crown for the border all around. He cast 4 golden rings for it, and put the rings into the 4 corners that were on the 4 feet. The rings were close to the borders as holders for the poles to carry the table. He also made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold to carry the table. He forged the articles that were on the table, the dishes, pans, bowls, jars, with which to pour out of pure gold. Then he made the menorah of pure gold, of hammered work, even its base, its stem, its cups, its bulbs, and its flowers were one piece with it. There were 6 branches going out of the sides, 3 branches out of one side, and 3 branches out of the other. 3 cups made like almond blossoms were in one branch, a bulb within a flower, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the next branch, another bulb within a flower. It was just so for the 6 branches going out of the menorah. Also, within the menorah were 4 cups made like almond blossoms, bulbs, and flowers, with a bulb under 2 branches of one piece, a second bulb under 2 branches of another piece, and a bulb under 2 branches of a third piece, for 6 branches extending out of it. Their bulbs and their branches were one piece with it, an entire hammered work of pure gold. He also made the 7 lamps along with tongs and censers of pure gold. He made them from a talent of pure gold along with all the pieces. He made the altar of incense from acacia wood, a cubit long, a cubit wide, squared, and 2 cubits high. The horns were 1 piece with it. Then he overlaid it with pure gold on top, on the sides all around, and over its horns he made a crown of gold for it all around. He made 2 golden rings for it underneath the crown, 1 2 sides as holders for poles in order to carry it. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made the holy anointing oil and the pure incense of sweet spices, the blend of a perfumer. And Exodus 38, altar for sacrifices. He then made the altar for burnt offering from acacia wood. It was square, 5 cubits long, 5 cubits wide, and 3 cubits high. He also made the horns on the 4 corners from 1 piece and overlaid it with bronze. Then he made all the utensils for the altar, the pots and the shovels, the basin, the forks, and the fire pans. He made all the utensils from bronze. He also made a bronze grating net for the altar under the ledge around it, reaching halfway up. He cast 4 rings for the 4 ends of the bronze grating to be holders for the poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. Then he put the poles into the rings on the side of the altar to carry it, and he made it hollow out of boards. He made the basin and the base from the bronze, with mirrors from the women who served at the entrance of the tent of meeting. Then he made the courtyard. For the south side, the hangings of the courtyard were finely twisted linen, 100 cubits long. There were 20 pillars and 20 bronze bases. The hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. Likewise, for the north side, 100 cubits long, with 20 bronze pillars and bases, and the hooks for the pillars and their bands were silver. For the west side of the hangings were 50 cubits, with 10 pillars and their 10 bases, as well as the hooks for the pillars and their silver bands. Likewise, for the east side, 50 cubits long. The hangings for one side of the gate were 15 cubits, with 3 pillars and their bases. Similarly, for the other side, on either side of the gate of the courtyard were hangings of 15 cubits, with their 3 pillars and 3 bases. All the hangings of the courtyard all around were of finely twisted linen. The bases for the pillars were bronze, and the hooks of the pillars and their bands were silver. The overlaying of their capitals were silver, and all the pillars of the courtyard were ringed with silver. The curtain for the gate of the courtyard was the work of a color weaver of blue, purple, scarlet, and finely twisted linen. It was 20 cubits long, 5 cubits high, like the hangings of the courtyard. Their 4 pillars and 4 bases were bronze. Their hooks, along with the overlaying of their capitals and their bands, were silver. All the pegs of the tabernacle and the courtyard all around were bronze. These are the accounts of the tabernacle of the testimony, as they were recorded according to the commandment of Moses by the service of the Levites under the hand of Ithamar, son of Aaron, the Cohen. Bezalel, son of Uri, son of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made all that Adonai commanded Moses. Along with him was Aholiab, son of Ahisamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman, a skillful workman, and a weaver of colors in blue, purple, scarlet, and fine linen. The entirety of the gold that was used for the work of the sanctuary, including the gold of the offering, was 29 talents and 730 shekels, according to the sanctuary shekel. The silver from those numbered from the congregation was 100 talents and 1,775 shekels according to the sanctuary shekel. that is a bekah, or half a shekel per head, according to the shekel of the sanctuary, for everyone who was recorded from 20 years old and upward, for 603,550 men. The 100 talents of silver were for casting the bases of the sanctuary, and the bases for the inner curtain, 100 bases for 100 talents, a talent for each base. The 1,775 shekels he made into hooks for the pillars, overlaid their capitals, and made bands for them. The bronze from the offering was 70 talents and 2,400 shekels. With it he made the bases for the entrance of the tent of meeting, the bronze altar, the bronze grating, all the utensils for the altar, along with the bases of the courtyard all around, the bases for the gate of the courtyard, as well as the pegs of the tabernacle, and the pegs for the courtyard all around. Y'all have a blessed day. Come back and see us again tomorrow, and be right here. Appreciate you. God bless.